Alright, hello there. This is how to prepare a succulent garlic and herb roast chicken with vegetables. This is my Pecha by Benjamin Michler for my design tools class at Full Sail. Hope you enjoy. I put a lot of hard work in this dinner and it turned out really yummy. Alright, so first you're going to want to thaw the chicken. Thaw the chicken the day before. I made the mistake of not thawing the chicken the day before once, and all the innards were basically frozen inside and I couldn't get them out. Plus it messes up your cooking time and makes for an uneven cook on the chicken in general. So it's really don't do it. Preheating the oven to 450 degrees, not self-clean, which is what I actually did when we were doing this, and my girlfriend got mad at me and had to fix it before it got too hot. Luckily she caught me. But yeah, important to preheat the oven to 450 degrees for this bird. Prepping vegetables. I used about 5 stalks of celery. I got baby carrots so I didn't have to cut them. Red potatoes, about 4 of them. Onions, fresh rosemary, some fresh parsley, and some garlic. I got about 10 cloves. Some will be used for the bread dip that I'm going to make. So first off, you're going to want to cut your vegetables. The celery, you're going to want to cut them into 1-inch pieces. This will allow them to be small enough for even cooking, but not so small that they just become slush. Quarter the onions. I use Vidalia sweet onions because they don't taste so harsh. They're not as spicy, I guess, to the bite. And then the red potatoes. Mix the veggies in the bowl. Your celery, your carrots, your onions, and even your potatoes, all in the bowl. The potatoes should have been quartered. So make sure you quarter the potatoes as well. I believe I halved them, but I had small potatoes, so... From there, we're going to want to go ahead and get your olive oil, some salt, pepper, mince the garlic, the oregano, some thyme, and basil. I eyeball these always to my own flavoring, but put them all in the bowl, get in there with your hands, and just mix it all up. This coats the vegetables in an even amount of herbs, and just tastes great. So now the nasty part, rinsing the chicken. The chicken I bought happened to not have a bag for its guts, so I had to go through and actually pull out all of that, and not all of them were detached. So fun times there. But you're going to want to remove that, rinse the chicken thoroughly, and then pat it dry with paper towels, and then go ahead and set that chicken to the side so we can rub it. When you're rubbing the chicken, you're going to take your olive oil, your pepper, thyme, oregano, basil, and garlic powder, and you're going to want to rub that all over the chicken, a moderate amount. Again, I'm not really one for measuring these kind of things when I season my meats and veggies. I usually do them to my own personal taste. Then, in a separate bowl, take the parsley, rosemary, thyme, and some salt, pepper, and olive oil. And you're going to want to break all that down in a bowl, go ahead and remove the leaves of the rosemary from the stem, and mix it all together with the olive oil, salt, pepper, and thyme. And this is going to be for stuffing the chicken. You're going to want to get that in there. My daughter was making jokes about me stuffing the chicken's butt with veggies, and she was laughing. It made for a fun time. But yeah, all that parsley mix needs to get into the bird to flavor that chicken and make it delicious. Alright, so preparing the pan. I put some of the veggies in the pan, lay the chicken down, and then fill the rest of the veggies in around the chicken. From there, the rest of the seasonings in the bowl, I like to take those out with my hands and then just rub that on the chicken because that's a lot of minced garlic and flavors that cook really well into the chicken and add even more flavor. So your cook time is going to be about 1 hour and 30 minutes. Mine came out perfectly at exactly that cook time. If you end up with a small bird, you might want to just go for 1 hour. But the one I did, 1.5 hours, was great. The veggies were completely going to be cooking down. And during the cook time, baste the chicken, makes the skin crispier. I don't know about you, but I love skin on the chicken. And about half the way into the cook time, about 45 minutes, go ahead and turn the chicken around. The oven gets hotter in the back. It allows an even cook time throughout the chicken. And then have fun. This was my daughter dancing. I was dancing with her as well, but I had to take the photos at that moment. And then she was also playing with some limes we had because she's silly and they were her drums. But anyway, have fun while, your dinner's preparing because you just put all that hard work into getting that bird in the oven. So We sat down and watched TV even. Once the chicken is done, go ahead and take it out. And make sure you let it rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes. This just allows the internal temperature to continue cooking the inside of the chicken, as well as keeping the juices in the meat, allowing the meat to taste more tender and flavorful. It's pretty much important. Side dishes that I went with were white rice, and I got a 5-grain Italian bread, and then I went ahead and made some olive oil bread dip that I talked about earlier. Olive oil bread dip is awesome. I enjoy it so much. So let's get into how to make the rice and bread dip. So for rice, usually you stick to your box. Depending on how many people you're serving, depends on how much rice and how much water to add. But basically, bring the water to the boil, add the rice, reduce it to a medium heat, reduce further as the rice simmers. Once most of the water is gone, go ahead and just turn it off, take it off the burner, and let the rice sit. This is the olive oil bread dip that I make. You take all of the ingredients here, the basil, the parsley, the garlic, the thyme, the oregano, the black pepper, the kosher salt, the ground sea salt, and the chopped rosemary, crushed red pepper flakes, and olive oil. You crush that together, add about 3 ounces more olive oil, and mix that, and you have your bread dip. And then it's dinner time. And doesn't it look great? It tastes great. I love putting the veggies and a lot of the chicken juices and things all over my rice. It turned out really great. Even the 6-year-old devoured it all up, which is impressive because she normally takes an hour and a half to eat, and we have to bribe her with desserts and everything else. Anyway, thank you for watching my presentation. Hope you enjoyed.